Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, citizens of all ages, welcome back to another edition, long-awaited edition of Star Citizen 3.13.1 PTU. And we finally have it in our hands, the Hercules Starlifter. Now, this is going to be a review of the M2 version of the Hercules, as that's the one that I currently have. And I gotta say, I so far am absolutely loving this ship. It has got such a huge internal area for it. Given that this is the first implementation, you are going to see some bugs and issues. That should be cleared up, and you will see something a little later on, but we'll get to that later. We'll burn that bridge once we get there. Now, with this being the military version of the ship, I was a little taken aback by the color scheme that was chosen. This could just be the lighting from this particular map, but that weird kind of light blue, that gray blue, I was expecting to be more green, kind of to fall more in line with the concept pictures of it, but that's a small nitpick. So we'll start off in the cockpit. It's very reminiscent of the MSR, which is nice. Finally, hallelujah, thank God, pilot-controlled weapons. You got two size 4 Revenant weapons, which is really nice. Those ballistics go a long way. But this isn't a ship that you want to solo, and I'm going to show you why right now. The co-pilot is going to be a very pivotal part of your flying experience. Reason being, as the co-pilot, you will have access to 2 of the remote weapons. So you've got 2 remote turrets in the back. This is on the underside on the belly, which has 2 M6A laser weapons. So again, the size 4s, 2 size 4s. That's a pretty nice loadout right there. You know, be able to protect the belly and, you know, have a nice shot from underside. Now, conversely, you will also have access to 2 more M6As, also 2 more size 4s. These don't have the best firing arc. You know, this is probably more for like above and to the sides, but if you look, you actually will kind of have control of both of those turrets from the co-pilot. Now, not sure if that's a feature or a flaw. Here's hoping that's more of a feature. The co-pilot is definitely going to be something you're going to want to bring along, especially if you go into more hot areas. Moving right along, as well, we have another support seat directly behind the pilot, and as you can see from that really quickly, it's also called the gunner seat, which I find a little bit interesting, especially since the co-pilot has access to both of the weapons. Now here it took me a little bit to locate the button, but we have another remote turret seat. And this one right here looks to be also on the tail, maybe near the belly, or actually I think, no, I'm sorry, that's on the chin. That is the chin remote weapon. So right below the Revenant Gatling guns is where you're going to get access to the weapons in this seat here. Other than that, really just power off and exit. So nothing too crazy to write home about. So from there, we're going to move on towards the back of the cockpit. We have 2 areas here. It looks like these might be for, you know, maybe later components, or maybe for the power system that is going to be coming online at some point, because those do look more like circuits, or, you know, something you can kind of hardwire into the ship to, you know, maybe engineer or do something, but there's nothing selectable in there at this point. Moving along from there, we've got the doors, and then we have these little areas in the kind of neck area. Now, these don't look completely finished, but I'm not sure, because they are kind of modeled. It looks like this might be for escape hatches, or maybe for suits of some kind. Not exactly 100% sure. I don't know. I didn't see anything on exactly what those are meant to be, although by now maybe they've got something out there. Conversely, it is mirrored on both sides, so you will have access to a whole lot of options if those are in fact for seats. Coming up, we have the button system, which is really nice, just like the MSR, except as of right now, these buttons work. Going along from there, we're going to come to another set of options where we actually have components. So that is one of the shield components right there. SIG is making a big push towards the physicalized components, which I am totally for. I really like that. Having the shields up front is kind of nice, so that way, you know, if they take damage, you could have a co-pilot or your gunner run over and try to work on them. Moving along from there, we've got some more component housing. Looks like maybe the power, I'm not sure. I don't know the components by heart, by just their name or look. And again, directly across, we have what looks like more component housing. Going down, we're going to go into the main area in the top section of the ship. If you've been keeping up on the development, this area will look very familiar to you. Moving along, we've got some light switches over here, the top being fully lit, which is what we're seeing. We've got a dimmed type of look, which is kind of neat and atmospheric, and then we have lights off, which weirdly looks brighter than the atmospheric lights, but again, probably just a bug from early implementation. There is a ladder that we just passed by, which is right there, and it's really neat because it has like a hatch to it, so that way if the bottom, you know, gets opened up from the doors, you don't vent the entirety of the ship. Right over here, we've got what looks like some space, either for personal storage or maybe some future components. It says no step. If it says no step, anybody or maybe yes step. Don't tell me what to do. This is my ship. I'll yes step if I want to, and you can't stop me. That's right. So, oh shit, okay, maybe that's why it says no step. Alright, moving right along, let's close that up there. So we've got some more storage spaces over here. It looks like it's a component, but I'm wondering if that's going to be more shielded. As it does look like we'll be able to open it in the future, but right now it does absolutely jack squat. All it says is personal storage, so maybe that'll, you know, open up into kind of way the storage system is on the players right now, so you'll be able to physically store other things inside of those areas. Moving along, we're going to go to the Aux Crew area. Now, the Aux Crew area seems like it's just that for auxiliary crew. Maybe, you know, jump seats if you've got extra crew on board that don't have something to do, or if you've got passengers, you know. Now, it does have a shoilet. Or actually, no, this actually looks like just a toilet because I don't see the shower part, so I take that back. This is just the toilet section. Nice, it does have a button right down there to extend and retract the toilet itself, so that way you don't have to, you know, yeah. It does have the buttons inside, so you can close the door, and what's really nice is you also have the lock button, so finally you will have your privacy when doing your business. Now, I couldn't find the button to close this particular bathroom, so hopefully, again, that's just an oversight and it's there, but just not lit up or something. Now, moving along, here is where things get interesting. The Armory. As you can see, it says replace me. I'm a bit hesitant to go in there because of what might happen. But, alright, you know what? I don't know. You know, alright, let's try it. Let's try it. And, oh, yep, okay, just what I thought. Alright, again, first implementation, things are going to be a little wonky. But I guess that gives us a perfect excuse to take a look at the inside of the storage area. Once again, it does have the nice building blocks button to open up and lock. Find it a little curious that you can lock it from outside, but whatever. I'm not going to think too hard on it. It does have this really nice opening in the front there. I can only assume that will probably be for the A2 model, the bomb bay version, as those do kind of open up like bomb bays. So as we go inside into the front of the ship, has a nice big ramp so you can have all the tonks and vehicles that you can fit inside of there. And again, the building blocks buttons are nice. And again, we've got the lighting switches. So we've got the normal lighting area like this. Going to go again to the dim lighting, which I think looks really nice. And of course, the lighting off. I really like the light switches and the ideas of that. I hope those will come into play somehow further down the road. Moving along, you can see there is definitely a huge amount of space. There's that ladder that we showed previously. We've got the elevator, and then we've got these side sections. Now, I'm not sure if these are eventually going to be storage or for components or, electrics, if you have to rewire stuff. We've got the back area here, which is going to be, 90% of the time where you're probably going to be driving vehicles in from, although this could be an ingress or an egress. It's your ship. You decide the rules of the road, if you will. I do like that little red light there. It does give a little bit more feeling, kind of more military type feel. If you've ever seen like helo jumps, usually that red light will be on when they're getting ready to jump. Again, more, dressing. We've got these side door things, which whether they're doors or just environment dressing, not too sure. So moving on from there, we're going to go up that ladder that has the nice door to keep from venting, and we're just going to phase right through it. Again, first implementation, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. So from there, we're going to go right back to where we were, to where we had our little oopsie. This time we're not going to go through, but we're going to take another look and see, yep, it's still not loaded. Small problem, but we'll come back to that when and if we can. Moving along from there, back into the main section towards the back, and we have even more component housing. This thing is just peppered with component housings. That looks to be more like the power. I do remember the A&Rs being possibly power. Don't quote me, I'm not sure, I don't know. Again, we've got it right across from it as well with the little fake keypad thing there. I really like the fact that there's so many component housings and you can actually physically interact with them. I can't wait to see the gameplay that this will bring along with it in the future. Behind that, we've got the engine type looking things, very reminiscent of the 890, like the smaller version of it. And then we have what looks to be even more component housing. I'm not sure what purpose this area back here serves, probably for expansion maybe later on, but I kind of like it. Even though it's probably useless, I like that little area there. So now we're going to make our way to the other side of the top end of the ship. Looking down here, these are very reminiscent of the MSR. In the back there, we have what looks to be a unshielded nuclear fusion. Something to do with that. It seems dangerous that it's just there and not behind anything. We've got the exposed wires. So that's funny. That's funny. And again, even more component housing. But if we move to the back area here, this one seems to be interactable. Now, it doesn't seem like there's any actual components here, but again, I have a feeling this is going to be more power related. That looks like it will open in the future. Again, probably for power management, rewiring, rerouting, something along those lines. And I can't wait. This one definitely seems to be set up for expansion in the future. Again, more component housing, but this does not seem interactable. This one, however, is. There's just so many components. I am running out of things to say afterwards, but there's a lot. Hopefully, we'll be able to make usage of those non-usable ones, maybe for extra storage. Who knows? Moving right along into Habitation. Just like the MSR, we've got these weird little bag things. I'm not quite sure what those are. If you do know what those are, let me know down below because I am quite curious. We've got the locker storage for the crew. Opens up nice and smooth, so you can store your knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, whatever you locate on your missions out in the verse. We've got the nice bunk beds. Got the little study station there with the screen that is showing nothing. And of course, you can't have a ship without the teddy bears. Every ship needs a teddy bear, any ship worth its weight. So we have even more restrooms here. Once again, I don't see a shower head. Maybe it's not in yet or it's hidden behind something. And even though the button is not lit up, you can still retract and push out the toilet. Now this one, it does have a button up top. So again, I'm wondering if the other restrooms that didn't, maybe it just retracted too far. As you can see, that is plainly visible, or it's just not lit up on the other one. Again, we have a secondary study station and another bed. We don't have a captain's area, so I'm assuming the singular bed is probably for the captain, but with a military ship, I would assume you don't kind of have a captain. It's just kind of, you're commissioned, you're an officer, just go in there with the rest of your crew. Moving down, we have more storage units, and again, the same setup as the other one. I really have a feeling this is going to be the type where you interact with it and can move things from like your chest or your legs into that type of storage, as that's kind of what that seems that's going to be set up for. Be very interesting to see if that is in fact the case, and if you can store things in there from, if it blows up, do the things stay in there, or do they go missing completely? Moving along, we now come back to the neck, or to the bridge area. That is the full view of the top deck. And then we're moving right back along into the bridge. Next up, we're going to do something I'm sure everybody is curious about, the top speed of the Hercules. Now, with the current map that I'm on, we don't have a lot of space, so we got to back way far up, and now we are going to put the pedal to the metal. It does have really nice acceleration for a ship this size. It's also quite maneuverable. I was a little surprised in a good way just how maneuverable this ship really was. This might become one of my favorite ships going forward, just for that alone, the fact of how much it can carry and its top speed. And of course, we get killed in a not so glorious fashion. But able to get a good idea of how fast this thing can travel, topping out at about 962 meters per second, which is respectable, especially for a ship of this size. Now, there is a couple more things that I would like to go over if you would like to see them. One of which being the elevator, as well as testing to see whether or not we can easily get in and out of the ship. The elevator is something I have yet to show, as it is something really haven't had need to go through. Here I'm just checking to see if that respawn might have brought the armory back, but unfortunately it's still not usable. So here is the elevator. I really like the fact that it's got like that little steel girder there, that protection just in case. We do have the top, the lower, and exit ship. Top deck is going to be the area we were in near the beginning of the video, which is probably the area most well known, again, especially if you've kept up on development. That is considered the top deck. So I mean, pretty straightforward. I don't know how else I can explain that to you. This has a nice little glass door that comes down. From there, we've got exit ship, which we are going to try now. If you have been a Star Citizen player for any amount of time, you know doing this is a risky venture. But I am pleasantly happy to report that no, you do not spaz out and freak out upon exiting. It looks like they finally got the physics set up, and sometimes even maybe a little too well set up, as I did find difficulty exiting the platform. Now again, I had a thought that probably it's because I didn't hit the lower deck first, so clicking exit once again did in fact make it traversable. And as you can see, didn't freak out, didn't spaz out, was able to nice and relatively smoothly exit the elevator in 0G. Now the real test, getting back in 0G. And survey says it works. This is fan-damn-tastic. Overall, I am very satisfied. Minus the little nitpicks and little issues here and there, like the armory not showing up. Very curious to see what the armory actually looks like. I'm sure there's probably other videos out by now that do in fact show them. Once again, gonna make our way back into the main area as we wrap up this video. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. Let me know what you think of the ship as well. I'm very curious to know that. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. I hope all you beautiful bastards out there, you have yourselves a wonderful day, morning, evening, whenever, wherever you just so happen to be. This has been Will, Daylight Gamer, signing out. Love, peace, chicken grease.